And we're back from our break, and our next rider is Madison Clark from Queensland, riding Fiesta. Fiesta is a mare, and she is by Orlando, and Madison is the owner. Hopefully everyone at home is revived with a cup of coffee. We've just had one, and now we're looking forward to enjoying the last group of horses here in the Prix St Georges CDN.
Sponsored by Willinga Park Vet Hospital. The temperature's a lovely 21 degrees here at Willinga Park. And you're tuning into the 9th annual Dressage by the Sea.
As Madison trots across in a half past left.
I was going to say floats.
Well, yes, but she was trotting as well.
Yes, but floating.
And again, a little reminder to riders riding tests is the horse really needs to bend through the corner. And I see it too many times where the horse is actually looking out going through the corner. So it's lovely to use your outside rein, but it is meant to be bent around your inside leg. So, a reminder. And again, floating across in the trot into half pass right. So this was quite equal in both half passes. And in that walk pirouette, if you were watching the inside hind leg, you might have seen it move rather sidewards rather than on the spot or on the spot and forwards. So pirouettes are about the inside hind leg picking up and putting down as it turns, but not travelling sidewards.
Was the Morgan horse Oradell Alexander?
It was. Did somebody tell you?
No. It came to me.
It came to you.
Like an epiphany.
Oh, fantastic. See, I didn't get the epiphany yet, but yep, that's the one.
And it was very, very
He
good.
was a fabulous horse. Fabulous horse. And only little.
I don't even know how that came into my head, but
Yeah,
it
no,
did.
well done.
These two have definitely got a partnership. You can see that they're really together, and
Yeah.
while it's not perfect, they look good together. She seems pretty happy about what's going on, and that's what I like to see, that, you know, the horse is really trying and the horse is understanding what the rider wants. There's no... quite a nice... Just lost a little bit at the second part of that pirouette, but quite a nice ability to sit. Makes a difference when you have a coffee. The words come out a bit easier. And a nice little pat on the neck there. Go on, you want to say something?
Oh, I was just going to say, yep, the horse has a good ability for pirouette, and I think when we see it do a full pirouette, it should be quite impressive.
Just the jumping together there in that first change. And probably she could have waited one more stride and then got the timing a little bit better so that that first change came off. And that's always a bit of a debate as a rider you have. Do I wait one stride and then I run out of room, or do I start? And, you know, when you've only got to do 5 of them, you can quite often wait quite a long time till you start. And that one she waited maybe a little bit too long, but...
Yeah, it's perhaps this one is... once it gets going in the series, it seems to be okay, but the first couple it looks a bit unsure of.
But I really like it.
Yeah, me too.
Yeah.
And I think she's got a nice way, Madison's got a nice way of sitting on the horse. She's a relaxed rider. She's a soft rider. Which contributes to the
flow. And
the flow of it,
yeah.
and the lack of tension. If she looks good, and I don't mean just because she sits vertically and still. I mean
she's subtle with her aids.
She's subtle and she's soft. It's nice. So, but she's still on the same sort of score as many of them in this class.
And for different reasons.
For different reasons. 63.
Yeah.
She made some boo-boos, and there we are.
And that's, as a rider, you sort of ride the test and you go, wow, that was good and that was great. And how did I end up with that score? And it's only when you start to analyse those little intricate details of why that score came down, and you go, okay, the transitions or the joining bits or the lack of bend in the corners, because that helps you set up for the next movement. That's all so important.
Yeah, exactly. So an update on scores. Well, we have a score there for Madison Clark from Queensland and Fiesta of 63.176%, putting her in 7th position. Still leading the field is Kayla Sims on Desiree with a score of 67.530. And now circling the arena, Mark Kiddle from New South Wales, riding 31. And Ferdy is a gelding. He's sired by Jazz and he's owned by Carolyn Lieutenant.
So this is another very impressive Jazz type of horse. They do definitely have a type, the Jazzes. They're very uphill, long-legged, expressive horses, normally with some extra characteristics.
Yes.
I love a
I'm
Jazz.
sure Jazz was not called Jazz for no reason.
For being boring.
That's right. But has he produced a lot of dressage horses. So this one, Ferdy, today ridden in a snaffle bridle, just hiding a little bit behind the vertical
At times.
And tighten the neck might be another comment that you could use. Covers lots of ground in the extended trot.
definitely have a type, these jazz horses.
So Mark attempting to push the horse out a bit more in this extended walk and encourage the nose a bit more forward. But I fear the marks are suffering as a result of that short neck.
Well, it's probably more to do with the ability that the horse doesn't really take the contact, does it? It just hides behind the connection a little bit. And I do find that some of those jazzes can be a little bit like that. They're just a little bit shy to take the reins and take the neck forward, and so they get short in the neck trying to get a connection. And it is quite tricky to ride. But Mark is doing a great job at piloting the horse through the test. And it definitely can do everything. Just some problems with the left change being through. And better on the 3 times.
Yeah, a nicer way of going as well. Just for a moment he said, "Oh, yep, I know how to do this and I can carry myself through it."
You can just imagine that when he does let go and accept that contact and take the reins, the paces will really flow, because he's definitely fairly spectacular, but just a little bit shy today.
Yeah, so the score of 60% or thereabouts is not going to be what anyone's Mark is going to be thrilled with.
But it is a process, isn't it, with some of these horses? Getting them in the ring, getting them through the test, letting them have a look time and time again until they eventually get confident. And I think Mark did a great job of keeping the horse
Yeah, he did.
in the right way.
Mm. Yes. So Our next competitor is Deborah Forward from New South Wales, riding Gwendolyn Snowman.
And Deborah is from Tamworth in New South Wales, and she has the AOR after her name as well, the Amateur Owner Rider, if those of you are wondering what those letters are in brackets. Means that she's the owner of the horse. She doesn't get an income from riding or training horses. She's just enjoying her beautiful horse.
And I think anyone would probably want to be also enjoying Snowman. He says, yeah, I'm here, I'm doing my job, and I wouldn't mind a ride on him.
Yeah.
Expressive in his extended trot, gives it a red hot crack. Hind legs could be more underneath, yes, of course. So we come round to the walk tour. You're looking for the left flexion here prior to starting the left walk pirouette. And you can see he took little tiny steps, which was very good. He didn't step sidewards or backwards. He could have been a little more fluent in the walk. Second one was probably a little bit better. The walk in between was regular, so that's good. And now we see him lengthen both the stride and the frame.
Oops.
Although she's just walked to the wrong marker. And she doesn't know what she's done. Just...
Momentary lapse.
And that is such a waste of marks, because it's not really a mistake. But it is a mistake, so that's 2% comes off at the end of the test.
So this
And
horse
it's got a great walk.
This horse was bred by Eleanor Russell, and Eleanor Russell also bred the dam of Victory Salute that Brett Parbury had great success on. And talk about genetics and breeding and foresight. Eleanor Russell was a great breeder of performance horses from that sort of upper hunter area.
So a little bit lacking in collection in the canter half passes, tending a bit on the forehand. And here you get the head nod. That's another sign that they're not in enough self-carriage, not sitting enough. Better job on that second pirouette.
So no problem with the required elements or the counting, but we just need to see a little bit more of that quality in the canter, don't we?
Yeah, exactly.
For a higher mark.
Yep. Good square halt and straight to finish. And the 2% will, I think it's already sort of come off the score, but anyway, it will certainly bring her score well down to what it was. So when you see the score, add the marks back in your mind, add 2% back, and that's more realistic of what went wrong. And we have another Queenslander coming in, Nicolette Cavett. Oh, I'm so pleased to see the poo picker-upper go out there. Circling the arena is Nicolette Cavett riding Larapinta Showstar, a gelding by Feeder Tants and owned by Jaden Donald. And a score for Mark Kittle on 31 of 59.912%. Also a score for Deborah Fullwood on Gwendolyn Snowman of 58.441%. So this is Nicolette Cavett and Larapinta Showstar from Queensland. So hind legs more under in the extended trot. Looking just a little slow behind.
And ideally you want to see a difference in the medium and extended trot. It needs to be a visible difference. It's another quite tall, long-legged looking horse. Whoops. Don't think you meant to stop when you're pooing.
No, that's, yes.
Unfortunate.
Unfortunate. Right, on with the canter we go. He'll feel lighter, so it might be, so that's good. He knew it was coming. And
You want more, don't you?
I want more. Half past left, half past right. It's just, it's kind of going up and down on the spot. So such a shame because it can obviously sit quite well, but of course it was a little bit too short behind, and she is having some issues with the opening mouth, and that suggests that it's behind her aids.
Can really
It
sit.
can really sit, but it tends to
It's-
take over, doesn't it?
Yeah. And it's that acceptance of the bridle, isn't it? And quite nice changes too. Hopefully I haven't jinxed it. 2, 2, 3, 4, 3, 2, 3, 4, 4, 2, 3, 4, 5.
Yep, got them in.
It just needs to really have a more complete round stride with the hind leg. It sort of doesn't quite canter through. Trending on about 61.6.
Well, she got a lovely big smile for the end. There isn't actually a mark for that, but she did a good job on that, smiling. So I'm pleased that she's
Happy with the horse.
Happy with the horse. And again, probably her first visit here to Willinga, and her first test is no doubt here in the indoor. So happy days. The horse showing some contact issues, but still performing the test. And she will end up on 61 point something, or just under 60, or just on 62. And we've got a very short break until 3:07. And we've just got 5 horses left in this class, although now is there a change? I'm not sure if we've got the order correct just yet, who's coming, but there is this short break, I think. our next competitor in the Prix St Georges CDN. We welcome Victoria Murphy from New South Wales, riding Chapelhurst Thurston Hall. Thurston Hall is a gelding and he is by First Romancia and he is owned by Victoria.
So I hope you're enjoying the live streaming of Dressage by the Sea. This class is sponsored by Willinga Park Vet Hospital and the naming rights sponsors of the show are Foresight. Great joint supplements for horses and dogs, cats and people. EpiJoint for people is a wonderful product. So Victoria from the Central Coast in New South Wales, riding a striking gelding by First Romancia.
It's not quite constant in its carriage through the shoulder in. But better in the half pass.
Just changing rhythm there occasionally, which kind of disturbs the overall picture of the horse. I mean, as a rider, we have to be careful that we maintain a constant rhythm. That sort of surging and sort of ducking and weaving can interrupt the picture a little bit. Kind of want the feeling that you can gradually accelerate to increase the power and the energy rather than surge and then lose the connection. Quite often you don't end up with a hind leg that's pushing if you surge.
The second pirouette, more of a turn on the centre rather than a turn on the hind quarters. And like so many of these horses that we've seen today, the issues are really all about submission or acceptance of the bridle or the contact. Call it, even if you didn't have a bridle, it'd be the same. It's acceptance of what you have to do in the way we expect them to go.
Yeah, so a lot of them do the required elements, but it's the technical bits that make up the higher marks that are lacking for the really big scores.
Yeah.
And it's difficult because at this level, when you start to get to Prix St Georges, it's not just about getting from A to B, it's about the quality of what you're actually doing. That had quite an exuberant change there over X.
Did. And then a flat one at M, just to sort of go half and half, I guess. And she's...
a little bit behind and dropping the pole, which makes it difficult for that horse to come through in an uphill way.
Yeah, so troubles in the changes. Oof, and I feel like the horse is hitting the bridle, especially in the change from left to right. It's not quite enjoying that, so it feels blocked, so it has to kind of go in the air instead of smoothly forward. And quarters to the right, coming down the centre line, but ending in quite a straight halt. So we still have 5 more to go.
And we're then here for another couple of days, for sure.
That's
or 3
right.
days.
And in case you're wondering who's been talking your ear off, I'm Jill Rickard, and my fellow commentator is Christine Crawford. And we are here for the next 3 days and looking forward to
Yeah, so
more.
we love your input. So if there's something that you'd like us to talk more or less about, please drop us a little message and say you like hearing about the breeding, or you like hearing more about the riders, or you like hearing a bit more of the background story, and I'm sure we can do our best to add a bit more of what you like into the commentary, because we are here for 3 whole more days. Or you could just pop down here and enjoy the wonderful facilities here at Willinga Park. It's definitely worth a visit.
And we welcome into the arena a local rider, Kathy Chittenden, who hails from Falls Creek, just up the road, riding Bluefield's Bellini. Bellini is by Bluefields, Berlin, and is owned by Kathy Chittenden.
So here I am, being the breeding like nerd that I am. Bluefields Berlin was also a very successful young horse, imported to Australia and ridden to a high level, and has also produced quite a number of offspring. We do have fairly limited information on the breeding, so I do my best to bring you the best of what I can tell you, and feel free, if you know more than me, to send me a little message and I will relay it. But Kathy also producing multiple FEI horses. And it's over to you to say something about the test.
Right. Yes. It's, so the trot tour, probably quite rhythmical. I could again say I'd like the poll a little bit higher, a little better in the self-carriage. But
the overall placement was quite good of everything.
Yeah,
it's all in the right spots, and the layout's really good. And, you know, talk about for the extra marks, we want possibly a change in the posture here, with the pole being a little bit higher. This is, I believe, I don't know the age of it because I haven't looked this one up, and it's not on the forms in front of us, but I would say it's relatively young, and the posture and the sitting ability and the carrying ability does develop with age. That's my only comment. It's not really a criticism. It's for the higher marks, the pole. I'd like to see the pole a little higher, but the actual placement and the pattern has been executed very well.
Yeah, and the horse is less inhibited by its surroundings than perhaps some of the others. So it's, and again, it's probably hasn't had much chance to be here before, but it seems to be calmer, if you like, and therefore able to do as a rider asks with less trouble.
I call them stutters, with less stutters.
With less stutters, yeah.
You know, because sometimes you ask a question and the horse stutters a little bit before it gives you the answer, but that impedes the flow of the test. And you know, if you're a little bit nervous and you had to get up and do public speaking, you sometimes you stutter a little bit. And so I think that's with a horse's performance. The rider asks, and sometimes the horse goes, "Oh, is that really what you want?" And then gives you the right answer. But that little stuttering does sometimes impede the flow, and that's what sometimes gives you the mistakes.
Yeah, well put.
Like that one.
Yeah, like that one. You know, over collected the horse and then wasn't quick enough with her inside leg to say, "Hey, keep cantering." So he said, "Oh, okay, you must have meant walk." It's very simple. Dressage is very simple. It's just very hard.
I remember my coaches saying to me that dressage was easy and very simple, and I always used to make it more complicated than I needed to, and sometimes it's just about taking a little bit more time and a little bit more preparation and waiting for the right moment to ask.
Yeah.
And-
And feeling like you've got time too, which is comes when the horse is really on your aids. You've got time then to prepare for the next one.
And that is a really nice feeling when you go in there and you feel like you've got a lot of time.
Yeah.
When you're feeling like you're desperate and you're running out of time, I always say nothing good ever comes from desperation.
No, I think that's very, very true. So Kathy's rolling along. Again, that pirouette has pulled her mark down. Shame for her.
And so, sort of, again, not a fabulous mark, but for different reasons.
Yeah, absolutely. Again, not you wouldn't ride away from that being disappointed until perhaps you hear your mark, and then you think, oh gosh. But I don't think she should. I think she should say, nope, the horse was pretty much doing what I needed.
And it's time.
And I might have made a boo-boo coming into that pirouette, and, off we go.
So hopefully 3 more horses to come from my accounts, or maybe 4.
No, I think 4. Because
4 more.
We
Was
had
that
one come
change?
out of order. We had a little change, so 4 more to come.
4 more to come.
And certainly they keep coming.
So it's anybody's
Still
game.
Anybody's game, with Kayla Sims still out in front, untroubled at 67%.
So we welcome the next horse to the arena, Rihanna Isaac riding Casey Bellino, and Bellino is by Bellissimo M. This is my favourite colour, liver chestnut.
Oh, we love chestnut. But we also love a horse that comes in straight and halts well, and she maintained that halt very nicely. Halts are all meant to be held for a minimum of 3 seconds. And somewhat modest in its first medium trot.
The judges were with you. They gave that halt a 7, some of them. The first one.
Good.
They liked it too. Just changing the line there a little bit in the shoulder end. That's another thing you have to be careful of. That you stay on the same line for the duration of your shoulder end.
Good, nice positioning and flow in the half pass left. So we want to see a difference to the extended from the medium to the extended, and yes, we are. So that might have been why she was a little modest in the first one. there is meant to be a difference. So you have to save something.
You either have to save something or have more.
That's right. Yes, exactly. And there again, travelling off the line. So she sort of gets into her position, but isn't perhaps quick enough with the outside rein to say, yep, right here.
And so they give it an average of 6. One judge had given the shoulder in 7, but she could get a really quite a high mark for that if that lost that little wobble or the changing line. So quite a potential for a very high mark. Definitely has good posture and it wants to be uphill. How was that pirouette? I thought it looked pretty good.
Yeah, just a bit slow. So, you know, the footfall was correct, but the energy level dropped off.
So not maintaining the same collected walk in the pirouette.
Yep. So
Slowing.
slowing, yep. So it's worth a 7, but it's not worth an 8.
I do like the extended walk. It's one.
Oh, no, you don't.
Straight section.
It began well.
And that's the thing, isn't it? It's not just one stride of a movement. You have to do it from letter to letter. Maintain it. And those couple of that mistake in the extended walk was expensive. It got 4s, so. The other thing I see a lot of riders doing, and it's not a criticism, is they start to collect as soon as they go out on that diagonal line towards the pirouettes. And you've got to remember that the canter pirouette requires quite a lot of energy. And if you start deactivating and decelerating way too early, the ability to have the quality in the canter deteriorates as you get towards the pirouette. So you don't want to collect for too many strides before your pirouette or lose the quality in the canter. I'd like more canter in this.
Yes, I would. I was just thinking that it's a short canter, and she finished a lot earlier than most people, doing 5/4s. So not so well placed, but really just not ridden to cover the ground in the canter.
Conservative.
Yeah.
So correct sequence.
Yep, and it's helping bring her mark back up after the walk, extended walk. And she should probably finish in amongst the 63s again. And there's a lot of 63s, so you can be 0.01% and drop several places or so on. And again, good halt at the end.
So overall, again, all the required elements are there. It's the little details.
And a competitor from Victoria is Rachel Wessel, riding Bellagio 2. He's an imported horse and he is by Bentley, owned by Rachel. So Bellagio 2 by Bentley. Not a stallion I know, obviously. Good looking horse. So it's great. We've got lots of visitors from interstate here at Willinga, Dressage by the Sea, and a bunch of new people as well, which is even better. So we've got some of the older and former visitors that we always see. But here again, Rachel, and some of our Queenslanders I didn't know. So it was lovely to watch new people, new to me. And a little bit more bending and suppleness in both the shouldering and the half pass. To the left for Rachel would help. Yeah, so something about, He's also, so our head judge here, judge at sea, is Thomas Kessler from Germany. He's unhappy with the way the horse is travelling.
And it's really important that we are the carers of the horses, the caretakers of the horses. It's a big thing, and that we accept the opinion of our head judge.
Yes, and the FEI has recently put out a, strong directive regarding horse welfare, and I think we are seeing that carried out by our Chief Judge today, and also in our judging in general today. I think they've making it a bit more of a statement about tension and mouths that are unhappy and saying, not today, which of course is disappointing for everybody.
But it's the direction of the sport,
we need to be much more mindful of what the sport looks like to the outside world. So that will mean there'll be a little break again.
Before the
next
last
horse
two.
is due in another 4 minutes, so she might come earlier, but she might not. And then another one. So 2 to go in this class. So our next competitor is Alicia Targa, riding Zoolander TPH. Zoolander is by Glock Sonic, is owned by Robin Targa, and Alicia is a local, coming from just up the road at Maru Meadow. So this is Alicia, second ride for the day in this class. And Zoolander by Got Sonic. I actually think I can claim that I made this one. So in my other many careers, veterinarian, I'm pretty certain I made this one. Maybe I didn't, maybe I did. I've certainly did a lot of breeding for Robin. And this is out of a particular mare called Harvest Madagascar, who was fabulous broodmare. Just always said, yep, I'll go in foal. And they liked this one so much they bred another one to Zonic.
I think Jane and Murray had the mare before.
Yes, they did.
And I rode a horse called Wilfred, and it was out.
Yes, right.
The mare did produce a lot of top.
Yeah. She was a bit of a breeding machine. So this horse new also to this level. He's only maybe 8, I think, 8-year-old. And I think it's safe to say he probably hasn't competed in this arena before. I think I'd be safe to say that. Oh, and so there you might have seen the inside hind leg got stuck. So it grounded in that pirouette. And that one a little bit better, but a little bit sidewards. I always have quite a sense of pride when the horses that I've made, as in bred, make it into what they're supposed to be, you know, which is dressage horses or jumpers or whatever it is. And this is certainly a very nice horse. So a wee bit large and off the line in that canter pirouette. And a little bit of a range of marks from the judges and that, which is kind of interesting, from a 4 to a 6. No, I think you did. I think you did. I saw one. But I think, you know, the horse is showing its inexperience here. Lucia's having to help it through, and its self-carriage is a little bit missing. It's relying too much on the hand. So there's just one more after this one. So just one competitor left in the Prix St Georges CDN, sponsored by Willinga Park Vet Hospital. Out in front still is our leader, Kayla Sims, riding Desiree on 67.53%. And our last competitor, who can give it a red hot crack if she likes, we hope, is Katie Stewart from New South Wales, riding Frederico R. And Frederico R is by Fiji and owned by Katie Stewart.
So Katie Stewart making her way in the CDN Prix St Georges, last horse for this competition. So this horse with the R at the back of its name has been bred by Heath and Rosie Ryan at Heatherbray, New South Wales, and by Fiji out of a mare which I presume is by Jive Magic called Jose or
Yeah, Josie R.
R.
Yeah.
So very much a product of Heath and Rosie Ryan's breeding. And I do like the posture of this horse. Maybe a little tilting in the shoulder end.
Yeah, I don't think. Yes.
And cantering is probably not required.
No.
I
So,
spoke too soon.
Yeah.
But that's horses.
Okay, so I think the tilting was indicating
The resistance.
a resistance, and it showed when she went onto the circle, and he said, "Can't do it too hard."
Just lost the rhythm of the walk there. Grounded in the pirouette. So this circle, the volte, became quite expensive. It was right up there. Canter just needs a little bit more purpose. Oopsie.
Oh no, naughty business. I don't think Mr. Kessler will give her very, very long here. He might be counting, but no, he's let it go on. So normally you've got 20 seconds, but he's been quite strict so far. So, smiling.
I didn't see that coming.
No.
A little
Well, perhaps not. Let's see what she can do here in a pirouette when she has to actually collect it again.
cheeky monkey.
Good boy. That's the way. And on we go, let's hope, for her sake. She needs to watch her upper body because she tilts forward in sort of little bit times of trouble. She gets a little bit ahead of the horse, and that means he's unweighting off the hindquarters. So whilst we're not trying to lean back, we're trying to keep a vertical position, generally speaking. Yes, so
some confusion.
Some confusion and lack of, again, acceptance of the contact and the bridle. The submission is what's at play here. And by submission, we just don't mean doing the job. We mean staying in a frame, staying uphill.
Staying on the line.
And staying on the line and going with purpose and forward. in the movements, and he's saying, I don't think I want to do that today.
I'm always attracted to the little cheeky monkey ones. I really like him. I think he's got a bit of personality. Maybe he just needs to come in here a few more times.
Yes.
So that is the completion of the CDN Prix St Georges Willinga Park Vet Hospital competition.
Yes, so we will sign off now. We do have the fitness inspection for the CDI horses to follow, but I'm pretty certain that's not being shown live stream. And then tomorrow we will start in here, the indoor. We just need to tell you so you can all be ready at 8 o'clock.
And the draws will go. So the draws are completed after the trot up. For those of you wondering at home why we probably don't have a draw for some of the classes, the draws will go up after the trot up. So the horses have to do the fitness inspection first, and then
if once they successfully have passed, then the draw is undertaken. So
and then
much later tonight, you look on Equip.
I think we start at 8 o'clock in the morning, and it's the Prix St Georges 3-star class, and that starts at 8 o'clock.
Okay.
And then we have a Grand Prix class, another 3-star class, and then we've got...
so the order's not quite right on Equip. So we start with the Prix St Georges CDI 1-star class, then we do the Grand Prix CDN,
then the Grand Prix.
Then we do the Grand Prix CDI 3-star. That's the one you're really tuning into. And then we do the under 25s intermediate 2.
So a lot to watch tomorrow.
Yes. So if you can watch some of it, that'll be great. And
take a day off work.
Take a day off, or watch it while you're at work. Why not? We look forward to being back tomorrow, giving you the final result here of the class. And so a final result for the class of the Prix St Georges CDN. Our winner, congratulations to Kayla Sims, riding Desiree on 67.530%. In second place, Serena Ireland, riding Chippy on 64.147%. In third, Jade Wilkinson from Queensland on Shirellen Gadarene on 63.912. In fourth, Javet Ham on Mayfield Fez on 63.765. In fifth, Brooke Ellis, Mountain Creek Valia on 63.559. In sixth, Rhiannon Isaacs on KC Bellino on 63.412. In seventh place, Ava Halloran on Good Time, 63.177. And in eighth place, Madison Clark on Fiesta on 63.176.
Foresight doesn't discriminate in terms of joint health. So whether you want to prevent it or whether you want to treat it, Foresight will do that for you. We want as many animals around the world to benefit from this exceptional product. So whether it's horses performing at the highest level, or the family pet, or a young dog or a young animal going through those growth phases, they can all benefit from the use of Foresight and Epitalis.
So in the Epitalis study, we found a significant lowering of PGE2 in the synovial fluid, marked radiographic changes, as well as a significant reduction in white cell counts. Using the scientific term, it's a disease-modifying osteoarthritic drug. We'd never seen it in any other study that it was that dramatic.
To learn more and find products, visit foresight.global.